Ooh-wee. I'm on here a little early today. I'm gonna wait and see who comes in. I asked if y'all wanted to go live. We here today. Baby, baby, baby. Goodness gracious. So by the time you guys start getting in here, I know that the majority of you have listened to the album that we're about to talk about. Some of you, were up late with me last night listening to the album commentary with Millie. Hey, Mon, how are you, baby? Hey, Justice for Us. Y'all. He said, what the hell with this album? Baby, I felt like I had to recuperate after listening to that album. Hey, Angel Babe. Hey, Kay Holiday. Hey, Kiki. Y'all. Matter of fact, let me pull the station head people on in here too. All I can say is I want some pain and suffering. Hold on, getting my announcements for station head, excuse me. Ooh-wee. Okay, I got station head going too, y'all. Cause once I get off of here, we gonna continue on station head. The stuff I can't say on here, we gonna say on station head. Lord have mercy. Hey y'all, hey. I see station head pulling on up. Hey, authentically Erica. He said Meg's album was not too good. Too many tracks I found. 8 solid tracks needed. Hold on, what's the rest of that? I found 8 solid tracks. She needed a solid single, some interludes. You said I don't like Megan, but the album was horrible. Angel, I commented on Wayne, Nicki, and Drake's relationship last month. Said the depression thinking about giving dome all day was crazy. Who does that? Yeah, that line threw me. It definitely did. I want to say track 17. Track 17 was um, a very cringy song for me. When she talked about looking in the mirror, not liking what she sees, and she's going back and forth with that, the Moody Girl song. It That song felt like what I've been explaining to all of y'all about when I tap in and it feels like, being in a fun house with shattered glass. Hey, Cass. Y'all, this album felt like depression when the beat drops. Said all in Cobra, she stated that after herself, sickening herself, depression. She was absolutely right. She knows this, and how can I be a bad bitch like me fall off, or whatever she said. Um, I was shocked that she ended the album the way she did. It was like the three last songs on the album just kept, going further and further down. It was a very intense, low self-esteem, emotional roller coaster. She starts off the album, real braggadocious on the high note. I mean, that's expected for hip hop. And then it gets, once she gets past, I want to say, the accent song, it starts to take a really intense downward spiral. And then it goes off into that song, I'm worthy, I'm enough. And it's like she's begging for somebody's attention, talking about they don't buy her gifts no more. And she shouldn't have to beg for the D. And then it goes off into the next song where she's talking about, looking in the mirror, not liking what she sees, and touch me, don't touch me, I'm moody. And then it gets into, the very last song where, we already heard her talking about her cookies depressed. And it just felt like a really harsh, descent from where the album started. I would have thought she probably would have started off. Well, some of that stuff I didn't even feel like it should have been on the project, because if you're the hot girl is supposed to be the fun girl. Not saying that you can't have emotional vulnerability and dexterity. I get that. But this album makes you feel like you need a Valium when you get done listening to it. Let's see. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. Yes, a midday live. I asked if y'all wanted to go live. You all responded. I was up late listening to the album when Millie played it last night on Station Head. And I will say I stayed up for longer than I should, because I found the commentary when everybody called in way more entertaining than the actual playback of the album. I think some of the most pivotal parts where she missed the mark was when she did the song with UGK. And her whole career, she's been saying she's like the female Pimp C. That's where the Tina Snow comes from. And then you get this UGK song and it bombs. A huge part of where her songs were not cohesive is that her choruses are horrible. They really just don't hit. Said I'm confused on her and Kelsey did 4 years ago. I guess that incident in the middle of the street that we supposed to pretend like never happened. Maybe that's what she's talking about. I'm confused. Let's see, there they go trying to mess up our video, playing music, y'all. I need to go ahead and close my window because they play too much. Yes, yeah, hypersexualized and then low vibrational. I totally agree. And it wasn't just, low vibrational. It was a descend. It was a low self-esteem descend that just never seemed to stop going down. Towards the end of the project, it becomes draining. You say, hey, Miss Zoe. You said the way that Millie dragged that album was hilarious. Well, the funny thing is Millie really tried to be objective, and then the album just kept taking turn after turn after turn for the worse. The song that she did with, I don't know if there's like a Japanese artist, that was a huge letdown because it just did not come together cohesively. And Japan has a very large, appreciation for hip hop. There's a lot of Japanese artists that, especially right now with the Japanese drill or whatnot, that are really good with their cadences. They know how to ride the beat. That song just missed in every possible way. Yeah, said Tony Snow would not approve of this ish. I agree. That was the worst song I ever heard a Pimp C verse on, ever. And I've never heard a song with Pimp C on it that I just didn't like. That was the first. He said every song was the same. I'm not gonna say every song was the same. Her flow, she needs to learn how to get some dexterity in her flow. Now her flow is the same. Um, Even with the samples, oh my God, the Tina Marie sample, Jesus Christ, how do you mess up a Tina Marie sample? Like, Tina Marie is classic, like, she's great. That's like a Isley sample, or, you know, having Charlie Wilson. Says she wanted a relationship vibe, let me calm down. PF2 people were saying on X, I didn't listen to the album anyways. Um, no, it's not even about a relationship vibe. This whole entire album is extremely hypersexualized. It feels like it feels like low end tallywhacker music. Yeah, she did butcher that. That was horrible. Hey, The Journey said there was no cohesiveness to the album. Maybe my expectations were just too high. I was expecting a story to be told on this so-called rebirth. To this just being Megan was zoning out. Usually when people have self-titled album is when they go the furthest in depth and they show you who they are as an artist. So this was just like a wow moment. So was the Pimp C verse AI or something? I don't think so. I would hope not. It's not that Pimp C's verse was bad. It's just that the song just did not seem to flow properly. It Once again, like with her choruses just do not hit. She has to really work on, building better choruses, because if your chorus is not driving properly, the song is going to fall apart. And a lot of her songs, the choruses just fell flat. So the fact that the team Hot Sauce was actually waiting on this, baby, I'm waiting for her to say that this was a joke. I'm really hoping that, she does an emergency drop and drop some fire, because this was not it. Yes, she did ruin the Do or Die beat. That was horrendous. So the fact that the only artist who's lost their parent, she keeps playing the same card. Um, she can't play that card with this album, because it would be, the album's already cringy, but it'd be so weird because it's so much, sacral chakra energy, like from her talking about taking people's man to, doing a whole song dedicated to her vagina, to her talking about, what is that, the downstairs DJ, where she's talking about, rubbing one out and going to sleep because, who I guess whoever she wants to give it to is not available. And then it seems like from that song, the whole rest of the album just keeps going downhill with her complaining about not being wanted, not considering herself attractive, not liking what she sees in the mirror. It was like, do you want us all to go to therapy with you? What the hell is this? Sammy, I can't speak for nobody else. For me, the album was absolutely horrendous. It's the worst that she's ever done. Make It Hot and Tina Snow were great. Good News, nah, so. Traumazine, I really didn't get off into that, but I won't say it was terrible. This one was terrible. Said it seems as if she's working overtime to pull an Asian fan base. She don't have to work overtime because Asia has a huge appreciation for hip hop. All she had to do was make good music. They have, really, really, deep ciphers over in Asia when it comes to hip hop. They listen to us hard body even when they can't speak English. They've had hip hop clubs and aerobics clubs named after different cities here and people here over in Japan and in China. That she didn't have to do. That Japanese song, it fell so damn flat. It was flatter than Pepsi left on the table for 4 days. It just did not. It didn't mesh. It didn't flow well. Hey, Lacey Brown Eyes. Let me see what's going on down here in Station Head. Let's see. You said people sleeping on the guardianship. Let me go back. It says, like, did she have a life prior to 2019 because she doesn't talk about her childhood or teen years? You're making a very, very valid point there, because I feel like something happened and maybe we're getting the tail end of it. We're getting the therapeutic end of it, because whatever happened, it had to affect her in a negative way for us to get this type of energy from her now. Usually your youthful years are, some of the best years of your life. Even if you didn't grow up in the best environment, you have some kind of good memories from when you were young. So, she's very closed off when it comes to talking about familial experiences coming up young. Would you say Camila Cabello album was trash? I didn't hear her album. I know there's several other major artists dropping today. I heard Imagine Dragons are dropping today too. So I don't think she thought this out with her drop, because this was just like when she dropped and BTS was dropping. For the love of God, I would never drop anything on the day as BTS. BTS fan base is huge. There's no way I would ever drop the same day as BTS. And I remember when she did that, and I said, why in the world did she drop with BTS? Like, BTS is going to black out everything when they drop. Said I like 4 songs on Camilla's album. It was okay. Yeah, Ben Zayden is whooping. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Cat Eyes. You said Ben Zayden is whooping her ass. Baby, listen. Front, back, and side to side. Because this is a mess. This is a whole fool. And it's so bad that I don't want to re-listen to it to make sure I heard anything wrong. I felt like I was accosted enough the first time. I don't know if you a troll or not, but ain't no OnlyFans to be dropped. Yeah, this said Cupcake album is really good. Sad she won't get the same hype though. I like Cupcake. Cupcake is a good MC. Um, I'm not too big on the Lotto Big Mama song. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's okay. I will tell you this though. I wasn't a big fan of the original OK song, but JT in her bag, especially with this remix with Jeezy. Now, if anything, Megan need to stop talking about wigs getting turned like Effie in sideways parts and possibly spin her wig around so she can get some new inspiration. Because whatever JT over there doing with that side part is working. You say JT's in your playlist too. No Megan added. Baby, listen. Megan need to go tap back into whatever energy she was in when, from the Captain Hook all the way back to Make It Hot. because she really lost her way. She lost her vibe. It's just not, it's not doing what it needs to do. Well, I can see I won't be on YouTube too long. The trolls are up very early. Yeah, it said Megan's album is so bad that I feel sorry for her. Damn, Mimi. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. She said that she's gonna let this album sit and marinate for about 2 or 3 weeks with no visuals because she want people to really listen to the lyrics. Like, girl, if you don't go to hell, then you should have made this whole album a visual album because there's no way you want somebody to just listen to what we heard for 2 to 3 weeks. It doesn't have the replay value to listen to for 2 to 3 weeks. I can't listen to this album a second time. I barely made it through it the first time. And I didn't expect the album to do, really huge numbers, but I expected way better than what came out. So didn't Meg take a shot at Nicki with the whole Barbie doll comment in Figueroa? I'm gonna have to look at the lyrics because I'm definitely not re-listening to it. I couldn't get over the alleged hook because I'm gonna say alleged because I'm hoping that she go and take that whole song back. But to know that that's what she was referencing at that restaurant in Japan, talking about some, she said hope, hope, hope. Like, girl, that was horrendous. That sound. I know I'll be joking on here when I say somebody sound like they eating crayons because this is definitely the antithesis of what I meant. This album is so beneath. Oh my gosh, I can't think of anything that I've heard worse in the last 5 to 10 years, and I'm not even being funny. Like, this album is so bad that I'd rather listen to JJ Icefish. She said, yeah, she said something about she's a brat and not a Barbie. Girl, she a dollar store doll that's bald headed in the back. If we gotta count this album. Said she had a Z-list celebrity at her listening party where Glorilla was there. She had her taking pictures with a snake. Her and Asian. Hey, Queen Gigi. I'm looking, trying to see who's over here in Station Head. Hey, Terry Capricorn. Cece Berry. Hey, Nita06. Hey, Miss Zoe. Color Me Golden. Said listening to Meg last night reminded me of Amy Winehouse crashing out. Amy Winehouse still crashed out with good music. She just looked crazy. You said at lunch, nice surprise. Ooh, enjoy lunch for me. Have a glass of wine if you can. Baby, this, whoo. I will say this though. Sitting up out because I was supposed to have been asleep last night. I was up into the wee hours. Sitting up listening to the call in with the mob last night was one of the best kikis I have had in years. Like, they were hilarious. Hey, Kimberly Stallworth, I didn't even see you come in here. Said I'm gonna hold my tongue on the horse and her hooves today. Baby, she probably should have galloped across the track. It would have been better. Y'all. I really, like I said, I assumed that this wasn't going to go number one, that it was going to be, it was going to be midway dismal at best. But this is bad. This is so bad. This is like, people having a meeting behind your back and they're reconsidering your contract bad. I can't see her letting the higher ups that help her with her career hear this, and they gave her the go ahead and said, "Oh yeah, it sounds great, put it out." Said, "Let me re-download Station Head." I had it like a year and a half ago, but deleted it. Oh my gosh, said it's happening. Her official downfall, Angel. Listen, I did not tell y'all Cancer season. We're in Cancer season. I told y'all best worst year ever. Best of the year was from January to June. Now we're going into June into December. It's all, unfortunately, it's a decline from here. Hey, Isaiah said, "Oh yes, Megan's album is so horrible. I don't think this will chart." Um, Funny enough, I believe it made it to number 2 or number 3 last night on Apple Music because everybody wanted to stream and listen to it. But all of the singles literally were under, like, I want to say the top, they were like at the bottom of the top 200s and below that. So just imagine your highest song charting in the new singles was like around maybe like 190 something. I mean, it's um they may have to pull this album and rework it. So serious. They may have to pull this and rework it because it's a mixtape album at best. You say, how dare she desecrate the great Tina Marie like that? Baby, ooh-wee. That and Tony Snow, like to hear her and Pimp C on the same song after she's been saying that she's Tina Snow and that's who she looks up to, and that song fell flat. And I had great expectations for when she was going to be able to be on a track with him, because it's not that she can't, deliver. It's she needs direction. She needs someone to help guide her when she puts her music together. Authentically Erica, I'm under Miss Angel the Oracle, and Miss is spelled MZ. He said Cop Nation owns a percentage of Billboard, so they might push her numbers. Well, they gonna have to push so hard that they might take Billboard off a cliff. Cause, baby, when I tell you the push would probably be to get her in the top 100. Would you say, Miss Angel? I think you were right about the security concern you mentioned before around her. Oh, what happened this time, Millie? Because she's had a couple of them. What happened this time? Because, oh, I did hear that Jonathan put hands on her security guard at her listening party. Said, I think, again, they're sabotaging her career. Normani's album was amazing, but not yet pushed properly. It's unfortunate how they do Normani because she's a great performer. I feel like what they should have done was push Chloe Bailey and push Normani, and those two could have been each other's nemesis, and they would have been able to play off of each other, and it would have built both of their careers. They both, are great at singing and dancing and choreography. It would have been great to see them, be compared to one another working back and forth. Said another lawsuit coming. Shoot, she got so many of them. Said she needs to go back to her roots. Um, I'll tell you like this. I believe her mother was a very huge influence to why her music was congealed the way it was, and we're hearing that now. It's like, can you say straight trashy? My ears were burning, sis. Baby, I get it. Say, yes, exactly, the security and the stylist. Yeah, so for those of y'all who don't know, Jonathan, who is a hairstylist, who also used to be best friends with Asian Doll, got into a fist fight last night with Megan's security. Now, the crazy part is they said after the fight was over, she still invited Jonathan back into the event. So I don't know what the hell they doing, but that's ridiculous. Says JT's remix with Jeezy sounds better than Megan's album to me. Oh, I agree. I agree. JT's on fire with that remix. That was a very good matchup. That was a great decision on her behalf. Said at this point, Cardi needs to drop her album because can't nothing get worse than this. Listen, no truer words ever said. No truer words ever said. That was the first thing I thought last night listening to it. It's like, well, Cardi don't need to be scared to jump off the porch now. Hell, you go back and listen to Enough. I told y'all Enough didn't sound as bad as people thought it did. Now you listen to Enough and then play Enough against this album. I guarantee you got a different appreciation for it. Said Chart Data tweeted that she finally reached #1 on iTunes and Apple Music. Them bots starting to kick in. Hell, them bots work overtime, don't they? Said Shalai finna be a FMS. Yes, yes, yes. Said Jonathan is strong as physically as wild. Jonathan was the one that was over there when they had that jump off in London that was fighting with security, if y'all remember. Would you say the fact that she social climbed her way through the industry but nobody was at her party? You know what, Color Me Golden? That's interesting. Said I need to go find that clip when Jonathan and Megan were live low-key chatting about Asian. If you go over to Misinformation, Millie's page, I believe she still has it up. From what it looked like he was saying, it looked to me, and I could be wrong, but reading his lips, it looked to me like he was saying, I don't F with Asian. Yeah. Him and Tommy was out there acting up in London. Oh, no apologies necessary. Once I get off of here on YouTube, I'm going to just go ahead and stick with Station Head because I can speak freely on Station Head. Some things I can't say on here. But y'all, the Figueroa song, I was waiting to hear what was going to come out on that song because for those of you that don't know, you know, when they got out the truck and she was out there sitting at the bus stop in the bikini and whatnot, I believe that was Figueroa that they were sitting on. So I thought she was going to get into some things and kind of spill something about that night. And then to hear the song, I'm like, the hell is this? Hey, Vibrant One. Says she's hanging around Asian again because she don't have any friends. Lord, Asian better run. Said, did you see that Beyonce post every time Meg comes out? Does she have a deep envy towards her? Baby, she ain't got to envy her. Now, if she being petty, I believe so. I've been telling y'all since last year that she don't mess with Meg the way people think she do. So if anything, I think it's just maybe out of being just pure petty to steer traffic away from her. Say they just got into it a few months ago, her and Asian Doll. Yeah, listen. When people need the trend, they will come together and pretend like they got a friendship like never before. Said this album proves nobody F's with Henny. Angel, you ain't tell us it was gonna sound this bad. Listen, I said it was gonna be dismal at best. I shocked myself. This was worse than I thought my damn self. Y'all, hold on. My neighbors over here are about to start landscaping. Let me go and close this damn window. Because we ain't about to listen to grass clippings, even though that's better than Henny's album. Whew. Y'all, I honestly, like, I knew it wasn't going to be the best, the energy I saw around the album, but I honestly, I cannot explain to you how much worse this was than what I expected. Tina 12, it is. Hell, every last one of them blades of grass got a story to tell, and not one of them talking about their cat. Said, I'm leaning towards the mob theory that Joanne is doing rituals when she posts at the same time as Henny. That's interesting. Murphy says, no growth whatsoever. It's not even that it's no growth. It's like she's reverting. It's like I don't know. It's like, you know how Cinderella went to the ball and she had to be outside before her carriage turned into a pumpkin? This is like her talent is regressing. It makes you wonder what in the world happened that everything is regressing. It's not even a plateau. It's getting worse. But I always believed from the beginning that her mother was a very, very important part of her delivery and how she built her music. And I'm going to stand by that, and this proves it. Do you think she turned Glow out because she's dressing a hot mess on this tour? I think Glow is impressionable, and she's still finding her way around. But what I will say is this. She ain't turned Glow out in the worst way, because Glow is dropping music that's actually charting. People are listening to this song that she just dropped and that video that just came out. Since that tour started, Glow's dropped what, 3-4 songs? So Glow is on the money. If anything, she should have let Glow turn her out so she could turn up the talent on this album. Because Glow is actually one of the better parts of the album with that accent song. So can you ask, did her team push this out on purpose? I keep telling y'all, these decisions are made by her. Y'all keep thinking that it's a whole team, and it's not what y'all think it is. They're letting her do a lot of this on her own. Rock Nation only works as management, meaning that they help to book things for her and they take fees. A lot of this stuff she's doing on her own. Her team is like one of them me, myself, and I teams, and then the couple of friends that ain't got nothing else to do. So just like Millie said, she's going to do day for day with Tori in prison, as she ain't had no peace yet. Yeah. Well, this album definitely sound like no peace. I felt like protesting. Somebody called J.G. Wentworth. I need a settlement for listening to this album. You said who in the studio and heard this shit and said, yes, this is the one. Oh, I keep telling y'all, Rock Nation is only, in the booking and management part. She's not signed to them as a label. So they're not a part of the creative control, and it shows. So she has no substance. Even her trying to be vulnerable doesn't express relatability. Her trying to be vulnerable was just pouring out a lot of self-esteem issues. Like those last 3 to 4 songs were all self-esteem issues. And it got depressing. Hey, Elizabeth. So the theme was so to be rebirthed, but baby, it's a hot girl mess. Well, that's the thing. If the theme is to be rebirthed, then you should have, grown through the pain. We haven't seen a progression at all. We haven't seen where you can say, I turn my pain into profit. I turn, my art into therapy. This album make people need to go to therapy. So yeah, you could tell this album was all her decision. Yeah, baby, she didn't have help making this catastrophe, not the way y'all think. Said I'm not a fan either. I just wanted to see if she was gonna go out with the bang instead of going out with nothing. This was less than nothing. You said it's giving self-sabotage, Angel. Poor baby. She just, oop, Iman. I can't read that out loud on Facebook. Not Facebook, YouTube. Oh my gosh, says she has too many yes men around her. Well, see, when people's whole life, is formed out of, you being the nucleus of everything they do, they're not going to tell you the truth, because once they tell you the truth, then they don't have a job, even if that job is to be a groupie. So what if they are allowing her to fail on purpose? Now that's an interesting statement, question rather, but it's very possible, Mimi, because if she doesn't perform well with this album, and depending on the backlash of things to come, it gives them an opportunity to drop her. So that's definitely one to consider. So yeah, you can tell because this would have been snatched by the hooves. Ain't no way Cop Nation would have let this gallop. It's justice for us. Damn it. Thank you, Ryan. So the album gives you a peek into her chaotic workings of what's going on in her head, and it makes no sense. Well, Journey, unfortunately for me, when I heard this album, it tied everything together for me, because it allows you all to hear what I psychically feel. That's why I said I don't tap directly into her. I only read the energy around her, because it's I keep giving y'all the analogy. It's like going into a fun house full of mirrors and all the mirrors are shattered. Like when I can't remember what song that was, she said, I don't know if it was the Moody Girl song, where she said, something about, how do you love me? Why do you like me? I'm broken. And that was just like, damn, that's messed up. Let me see what y'all saying down here in Station Head. Just like Millie said, okay, I read that one. Said this album put a spotlight on the Grammy rock, and 3 Grammys and albums sound like this. Man, this is why people can't get caught up in the whole idea of Grammy versus no Grammy, because there's a lot of very successful artists that have never won. And here it is, she's won 3 Grammys, and this album sound like it was made in a bus station bathroom. Like, this album is not it. Said Mega old ho, she needs to come up with some new tricks. Shaking her ass is not talent, but she thinks so. I could give her that as a part of her talent if the whole body of work is conducive. This is not an album with replay value. None of these songs are anything I want to hear on the radio. Like when she dropped Cobra, yes, Cobra, it did decent for the YouTube algorithm with giving content creators something to talk about. But nobody wanted to hear Cobra on the radio. Nobody wanted to hear about you talking about your cookies are depressed. That's not something that, people want to just keep hearing over and over again. Let me see what's going on up here. Yeah, Maya, I said the same thing. Said you were listening, said I can't, this girl can't be serious. I was waiting for her to say that this was a joke and then she was going to drop the actual album afterwards. It's like, this must have been the April Fool's edition. He said, I don't understand the thought process, baby. Apparently, none of us do. Well, maybe 10 of her fans. I don't know. Said, how do you think the public is taking the album, Angel? Um, for for the most part, I would say the majority of the people are saying that this album is not hitting. Um, I do see that there are bots in the algorithm, and I noticed one thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Depending on the vlogs, you can tell the engagement from people versus the engagement with bots. Like when I saw Baller Alert, I could tell that there were botted comments. Um, the neighborhood talk, Millie's, more of those. It was more actual people talking versus the bots. Do you ever indulge in white chocolate? Uh, I never have, sweetie. Says fly on the wall, says same flow, weak hooks, repetitive subject matter, corny cadence. She gives absolutely nothing, and most of the people who support her are Nicki and Tory haters. Yeah. I mean, even if they're not a Nicki and Tory hater, I 1000% agree with your assessment of the album. Um, all the songs, one way or another, felt incomplete. They fell flat. The hooks were absolutely horrible. Um, she has an issue with being able to conducively tie the subject matters together and how to flow in and out of hooks. Like even with her finding the pocket, she's so comfortable in one style of cadence that once she goes into the hook, she gets lost finding her way back into the cadence for the next verse. So that's why I said that I believe unequivocally that her mother was the huge driving force, that made her music, solid. And once she, lost her mother, unfortunately, she lost a huge part of what made her, a successful MC. Uh, said, what the hell is up with Wayne? I got to get caught up. I don't even know. Um, said, I was a bit disappointed in the Victoria Monet feature. It felt a little flat. I know Victoria can do better than that, Angel. I totally agree. I like Victoria as a artist. Um, like I used to have that friend you can keep song on repeat. I want to say what was it, like the Jaguar album. That was a nice album. That it's just a lot of what was on her album was just, it did not flow well. It really didn't. You get an artist like Big Crit on the album, and it's like I like Big Crit, but what she did with the song with Big Crit, I feel like was beneath Big Crit's, you know, capability. So it felt wasted. It was just like when she got what's his name? When she got Future on that song with her and the song went no damn where. It felt like that. So she needs to up her stage presence and get into her Tina Snow bag because this is not it. Let's see, I spoke on Nicki, Wayne, and Drake's relationship last month. Wayne didn't mention Nicki in his top 5. I mean, that if it's not his top 5, it's not his top 5. I I can't expect him to make her the top priority in everything if you're asking him overall hip hop. Um, would she be mentioned in top 10 all time of hip hop, especially when it comes to sales and things like that? Most definitely. But this is his personal top 5. So if they're asking him what makes his personal top 5, he's the only one that can decide that. You said Wayne has for 17 years, speaks on Nicki. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you can't just make him make her his top 5 though, just because they've been around each other so long. The top 5 a lot of times, for especially for MCs, is the top 5 people that inspired them to do what they do. So his top 5 may be the people that were in the game before him that influenced him to do music. Says she's fragmented. Yeah. Said there's no way the camel had anything to do with this. I do believe he wants her to self-destruct. Well, he's successful if that's the plan. Said a lot of people said that she was taking some shots at Nicki. Um, whatever shots she was taking, baby, they were very ineffective. And it's going to hurt her if Nicki never responds to her, because she needs all the attention she can get to get something going with this album. Said watch everybody go apologize to Nicki over Bigfoot. Possibly. Said Beyonce still posting her IG, taking focus off that trash album. Said, Angel, why are you on live now and I'm at work? I asked everybody if they wanted me to go live. I got a lot of people say yeah. Says she thinks she can wait 2 weeks before dropping a video is a mistake. She needs to start shaking something. I totally agree, because the album is not solid enough for people to listen to for 2 weeks without a visual. This album needs every visual and every aid that it can get. It really does. 2 weeks without visuals, it's over for this album. What she should have been doing was shooting visuals while they were on tour, like Glorilla did and like Lotto had done. Said I agree that she is sad because she got to shake her ass and with some fire bars. No, I will not be singing any songs. They're not going to flag me for singing on here. Baby, I did think it was the April Fool's edition. I was waiting for her to drop the real one. It's like if you ever hear reference tracks that aren't complete, like, this is just a rough draft idea of how this is supposed to go. This is what this feels like. This feels like cliff notes. It feels like reference tracks that haven't been finished. So why she keep calling herself thick when she's driving the boat with those Zempic shots? Oop, damn. Said Megan can't catch a beat. She just has one type of flow, like Nicki said. She needs someone to help her develop her structure. It's not even that she can't catch a beat. She definitely needs artist development. And that's what her mother was giving her. And without her mother, you can tell the difference tremendously. Yeah. She need, but a lot of these artists need artist development. Artist development was very key to making strong artists. And you could tell we don't have that anymore. Now, I definitely didn't like the Sexy Red You My Everything song, but I can almost listen to that again before I listen to anything on this album Megan got. This album is bad. And speaking of sexy, she just dropped a song with matter of fact, she was just featured on a song with 42 Dougs, and they did a throwback to BET Uncut and did a song called No Panties On. So any of y'all that used to watch BET Uncut after dark, you remember the I Ain't Got No Panties On song. They flipped that song. Said she should have stayed with 1501 because this independent artist is not working. I agree. And see, she would have got the artist development she needed if she stayed with 1501 and got that growth. And she would have made more money in the underground because you get to keep more of your money in your pocket. Said, to be fair, Wayne has had Missy and his favorite rapper since he was in Hot Boys days. Thank you for that, G. Marie. I do remember. Said Wayne put Drake in his top 5, and he is a cosplay rapper. I wouldn't put Drake in top anything for me because I appreciate the rappers that actually write their bars. So I could see why anybody would feel some type of way about him mentioning Drake and not mentioning Nicki. I would definitely put Nicki long before I put Drake. But that's just me. So Wayne has mentioned Nicki as a top 5 of all time on many occasions. I think he knows that people are jealous of Nicki, so he's just being smarter now. That's interesting, Angel the Babe. No one is talking about, let's see, I love Drake's 2 new songs with Camilla. Sounds better than this. I haven't heard them. I really haven't heard anything from Camilla's new project, so I have to check it out. Said Nicki shouldn't respond. It'll give Meg hate streams. Let's just let the inevitable flop happen. I don't think she should respond because even with what she said, it just didn't hit hard enough for somebody to really, entertain her. It's gonna be real interesting to see what she do at the BET Awards, because now that she put this album out, people just, they're like, yeah. Said I'm so mad at Crit. I love him. Like Big Crit was, that was a great feature to have, but I don't feel like she utilized it properly. Said there's only some hotties talking about it. TikTok, they think she's talking about Nicki and her kid. The line makes more sense to me to be speaking on Kelsey, but either way, it doesn't have enough punch to it to really be considered a diss for real. Says Lotto's video was nice. Her sister is gorgeous. I don't know why she's not a runway model. Her sister is beautiful. I give her that. She's like classically pretty. She doesn't need a lot of makeup or anything. Says she's definitely beneath him. If she was a fan of him for real, her music would be better. I promise she had no clue who Keith was until someone suggested him for the album. I don't know. It's like Crit is one of those artists that you want to get on the song when you actually have something to say. So that's why I feel like she utilized him wrong, because he's not one of these, fly by night, make a dummy song type artists. Said if Joanne is up posting early today, that means that she knows something the public doesn't know about Henny. Well, here's the thing. I've been telling y'all for at least a year that they don't get along the way y'all think they do. She don't really like that girl like that. Said I feel like she does her based on anime, and I got fed up about that. Even if it's on anime, I've heard a lot of Japanese rappers that actually have real solid flows. They can really rap. What she did was a calamity. It was a mess. Yeah, said this is her worst work ever. She needs to remove the album and start over. I agree. They need to pull it and revamp it, rework it and drop it as something else. I knew it was in trouble when they changed the name from Slither to Megan, and then you kept changing the cover art, and then the whole entire track list changed because she was supposed to also have an R. Kelly sample that didn't go through. Um, she was supposed to have Carisha that didn't go through. She was supposed to have a Cardi B song that didn't go through. Said I've been playing OK JT and Jeezy. Like I like the JT and Jeezy. I think that was a good match. They flow well together. Said Wayne has already said Nicki, the great female rapper of all time, many times. Says Lotto has no originality. Um, I feel like Lotto has no idea what her sound is supposed to be. On top of lacking originality, the best that I've heard from Lotto as far as being in her pocket recently was the Lottery song when she had the lady from Canada singing the hook. Like that song actually felt good for her. I don't like this artificial illiterate black scent that she does where she tries to sound more what she considers more country than she is, because when you hear her talk, she doesn't talk like that at all. And usually when people have a thick accent, the accent doesn't remove when they get to speaking in general conversation. And it's like from one song to the next you shorty low and then you switch it up. It's like I don't it just doesn't mesh well with me. Says why she never shows love to her mom. That's interesting. Says she didn't even pinch him. Had somebody asking does Wayne have any siblings. You know what, I don't remember seeing any siblings for Wayne. Said I'm tired of samples. These producers are so lazy, especially Lil Juju. I don't mind a sample. I just don't like that a lot of these artists are too lazy to do the proper research or to learn about music theory when they sample a song, especially something that has already been iconic, something that has been a staple. You need to understand the inner workings of that song to know if you can add something to it or if you need to just leave it alone. If you can't add to it and make it better, do something to it to make it your own, I don't think you need to take something that's already been iconic, because it's going to make it even more of a letdown. Like the song, what is that? The BAS song, the one she used the Tina Marie sample. I was just, I don't even know how to describe it. You know how you just want to go stand in the corner because you know you did something wrong and you realize it wasn't you? That's exactly how I felt listening to that. You said, "What am I doing while you still at work?" Oh, people said that I can go ahead and come on. Yes, I feel like she uses that community too much. Well, hello to whoever this is in Armenia. Welcome. Said, can you tell by the way Joanne showed up at the Grammys on short notice that she was not cool with Meg? Baby, the way that hat was sitting, looking like the wig was pinned on the inside of that hat, she definitely looked like she came in there for business. Now, my thing was, Meg didn't move to another table. She completely left the Grammys, and that's when we seen her on live putting the straw in the Henny. So it's like, why did you just leave the Grammys altogether? Said bad investment for Stone Nation. They really, oh, they really had a brick with Henny. Yeah, she's definitely showing that for the long term, she's not worth the church's money. She needs a real team. She needs artist development. She's not someone that does well with her own creative control. She doesn't really know how to structure a song. And see, that's the bigger problem. Oh, thank you. Say hit the like button, fam. Said I'm from the South and we do not speak that way. Um, most of my family is from the South, and as country as they may be, they don't speak as if they're dragging their tongue. That they consider that to be very uneducated, very illiterate. My grandmother used to say that that's talking flat. And when you hear her in interviews, she does not speak that way in interviews. So to me, it's like you're making a mockery. So it annoys me when I hear her do that. You said in the debate was more news than her album. Baby, the debate dropped more bars than her album. The way that Biden came out talking about you slept with an adult star while your wife was pregnant. I said, oh, the ghetto. What we doing over here? And then here come Trump talking about the black jobs. I'm like, is this still a presidential debate? Like what? Like y'all might as well just had some shot glasses on the stage. You said it is an LOL. She said that she had to get a sample for the anime song for the album. Well, the way that she explained it, she said that they were only going to give her an either or clearance. They were only going to allow her to sample the music, or they were going to license her the right to use the name of the characters, but she couldn't have both. So she decided to get the sample cleared. She said they listened to it. They wanted her to change some of the words in the song. So she had to go back and rework the song and change the words of the song. And then after she changed the words of the song, they came back with their final decision and told her that either you can clear the sample for the song, or you would have to get a licensing cleared to use the name of the characters, but you can't use both. And they just did that like within the last 2 days, knowing that the album was going to drop by Friday today. So it almost feels like they really didn't want her to use it, because why wait so late? But then again, she should have never agreed to put the album out before all of the clearances were done. That's just proper business. Said, do you watch the podcast I sent you in your email saying that Nikki is following Super Peach, and rumors have it saying that she might be signing her? Oh no, I didn't get to see that because I've been a little busy, but that's interesting because I see all those girls are coming back out. Young Lyric just dropped some music the other day. And interesting enough, Young Lyric, for those of you who don't know, she was also on the same show that Lotto came up on, as well as Super Peach. And she's the one who did the diss track and pretty much made a whole song talking about Lotto got beat up by a 12-year-old. You said Super Peach is a Trini. Interesting. Oh, Flage dropped last night. Damn, everybody dropped last night. You said You think the issue is pertaining to her husband. Wayne could be jealous. I don't think Wayne is jealous of her husband. People can just simply not like somebody. They don't have to be jealous of them. Let's see, I have a question. There are these blind items, industry videos on TikTok saying that Nikki is trying to blackmail her. She's been talking bad about Nikki. I haven't seen them, so I can't speak on it. I don't really know what you're speaking on. I'm not on TikTok much. I started wanting to put content on there, and I probably got like maybe three items on there, 4 items max. Said I agree because it gives she didn't respect her mother like Nikki said. Well, I mean, she still has, the tweets up where she's threatening to put hands on her mother, and that to me never set well. You said Lotto gets you so upset with her, so mad with her fake accent. Yeah, it rubs me the wrong way because it's you know when somebody authentically speaks that way versus somebody doing the most to put on. And it's like, this might be a bit much, but for me, it's a form of, blackface. Like, you don't have to do all of that to be considered authentic in the culture. If that's what you do, that's what you do. If it's not what you do, it's not what you do. And that's cool. But don't try to use an illiterate accent to sound more down. It just don't sit well. There's another podcaster called, we'll say Henny, called Henny's Camel Face Mistress, and tried to clean it up and said his artist, the podcaster, was referring to her mystery song with the male feature, hinting that the feature was Camel Face. Well, it definitely was not Camel Face. It was Big Crit. And it just did not... Big Crit is too much of an intellectual artist to use him for, this pee-popping music that she's doing right now. And it's not that he can't get in the pocket, because he's great at what he does, but it's just it's a waste of a feature if you don't really, have any real things to get into. Said, I wonder if the Camel and Joanne went to Japan to beg for her clearance too. Well, it didn't work too well. Said, is Flage not with Rock Nation Management? They are not marketing her. Well, I mean, she still has, y'all forget Flage still has a basketball career, so she's not going to just be out here on tour, doing all of the regular rap girl stuff. She's got other things to do. He said, I love Young Lyric. She's so pretty. Yeah, she just dropped, I want to say like 2 or 3 new songs this week with videos. I think one of the songs is called TMZ, which I thought was interesting that Young Lyric dropped a song and video called TMZ, and then, Henny has a song where she keeps talking about some ain't no T, this bitch thinks she TMZ. And it just overall came off corny. So in the Megan and Glorilla song, she says that you make me want to slap your mama, the audacity, wow. Hey, Mother Angel. We're discussing Megan's album that dropped last night. All of us were extremely shocked that the album was way worse than we expected. You said you loved your mom, but never paid homage to her in a song, rap, album, or nothing. You know what I find interesting? A lot of people don't know that Hollywood, her mother, Holly, used to be a rapper by the name of Hollywood. They don't know that rapper was damn it, I can't talk. They don't know that Hollywood was a good rapper. That's what I meant to say. So what I don't understand is, why doesn't Megan go in the vault and go get some of her mother's old recordings and, do some, you know, reflective music where she have her mother, just like what she did with Pimp C, have her mother rapping on the track with her. Like, to me, I think that would have been dope. Yeah, it would be nice if we could hear some of her mother's songs, because if you listen to, like I said earlier, if you listen to the Make It Hot album versus, like, Make It Hot and Tina Snow versus what she did from Good News on out, you can hear her mother's influence. Her mother was really, really good with helping her to structure her music and to be in the right pocket and to have multiple different flows and to have range in her music. She lost that range and the ability to compose a song when her mother passed away. You said those were the days I was a huge fan of Megan. The Make It Hot album is what made me think that she had the potential to be in the game. That was a really good body of work. What she's doing now, I would never think that this is the same artist. Would you say the mob has been looking for that notebook since 2021? It said Anessa Carries is over there hanging with 1501. I mean, hey, why not? Nessa Carries was around before Meg was. I mean, I don't even know if it would be a good fit for her to get signed by them, but I mean, it is definitely a good co-sign for sure. So, was her mother a sacrifice? Because you're right, Angel, her whole artistry is gone. Um, it's a peculiar situation, because it's like, I find it very, very, how do I go off into this? I find it very interesting how hard they were willing to go for her legally, but these same people were not willing to invest in the care of her mother, because they put a lot into the legal fees and whatever it took to get her away from 1501. But then again, when you think about it, it didn't benefit T. Ferris for her mother to, live longer than she did, because he got to take over everything when she passed. So Meg, like Party said, was it worth it? Said, I read Nessa Carey's book on Amazon, and she spoke on her having missing fingers and how it affected her in life. I wonder if that's why they didn't push her harder, but because no, that's not what happened, Miss Zoe. Funny enough, I never paid attention to her fingers, but Nessa was represented by T. Ferris, and we're gonna have to say allegedly, but she was given a budget. She was given a contract, and T. Ferris took her contract and her budget allegedly and handed it over to Megan and walked her right in the door with Nessa's, um, her whole budget, so to speak, allegedly. Because at that point in time, Nessa's name was ringing bells down there in Houston. She was working with, all the major guys that were making moves at that time. Her mother did have cancer. What I was saying is that they spent a lot of resources on the legal side of getting her to leave her contract. It just seems very interesting to me. If they really wanted her loyalty to leave the contract, you would have thought that they would have possibly helped to ensure that her mother had, better opportunities with health care and treatments. Because when you're dealing with people on that level, there's treatments available to them that aren't available to regular everyday people. Hey, Songbird. So, the old saying is that the industry likes broken people and those who have been through trauma and experienced addictions. They are more vulnerable and I imagine easier to manipulate. That is 100% facts. Anybody that is able to think conducively, that is, not easily controlled, is not their cup of tea. Broken people, you can definitely get them to do far more than anyone else for a very, very far cheaper price because they don't know their worth. So Nessa said that Megan was in an entanglement with T. Ferris. A few people have said that, and she's been yet to dispute it. Said, I think Ken the Man may be, not Duck Nation, maybe Duck Nation falls safe when Henny fails. Well, she wouldn't be the only one because they signed Kalani. And Kalani will definitely, be a step up. So y'all saw how they pushed Matthew Knowles out. Yeah. Let's see. It says, I asked because Meg doesn't really speak on her college years or her mom. I agree, which is kind of peculiar. The most that she'll say about college is that, she went to one college, transferred to another. Her and Kelsey met in college, and then her and Kareem were, they were in a relationship. You don't get anything outside of that. Yeah, we tapping in a little early. So let's see. I want to pull a couple of cards here because I want to look at what's the trajectory now that the album has come out and it's not really being received as well as people thought it would be. Some of y'all are hilarious. Y'all were like, Angel is worse than you predicted. You said way worse. Baby, listen. I'm going to tell you, last night I was in my bed and I listened to Millie preview it. And I literally, I didn't even know what to think or what to say. I just sat there with, I just sat there motionless, like, what just happened? So we love a tap in on Angel. Once you finish your relevant tap ins, can you please tap in on Naya Rivera and if she was stalked, threatened, or I'm not going to do any tap ins on anyone that's on the other side right now, because I want to reserve my energy. I energetically, I don't have it in me right now to channel someone that's on the other side. But I can definitely do that one on a later date. Do me a favor, when this live ends, put that request in the comments, and I can do a sit down reading on that. I'm not tapping into Wayne or Kenny. We not gonna cross that energy up today, because this don't have nothing to do with Nikki. You know, when I did the Nikki tap ins, I didn't tap into Henny. We we don't want to pull Nikki's successful energy into this energy over here. She worked too hard to be rolling around in the mud in this energy. let Nikki's blackout be successful all the way around, even in the spirit realm. I mean, this is the one time, because I'm all for the back and forth with hip hop, but this is the one time I even want Nikki to pay it dust. Just let the numbers be whatever they gonna be. Let's tap into the y'all stop laughing at me over here on YouTube. Oh my goodness. Let's see what the energy is gonna be after the dust settles for this album. What is the dust gonna settle for this album? Show me the energy after the dust settles for this album. Lord, the cards ain't even acting right. Y'all, so for everyone who can see me on YouTube, y'all see this? 10 of Wands, the card of burdens. This is gonna be a huge anchor. This is gonna hold her, you know, pretty much weigh her down. Yes, you see yoke. Decisions are gonna have to be made. 2 of Wands. You see this bottom of the deck, 5 of Cups. Represents shame, sympathy, regret. Now you see why I said let's not pull Nikki into this one. We let's finish this up. We don't want her over here rolling around in this energy. Said now I know why Henny didn't wait for the album to drop before going on tour. I said the same thing last night. I promise you I did. I was listening to this and I said I totally get why she did not debut this album before she went on tour. Because, baby, if y'all thought it was hard to sell those $20 tickets, imagine how hard it would have been to sell the tickets if people heard this first. Whew, Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is a deep emotional energy. Also, there was an intuition about the direction that this should have went. Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So this is crazy, because it's like intuitively she knew that this may not have been the best direction for her to go in. Would you say we over here getting ready for the second leg of Nikki's tour? Ooh, I don't know what Team Hot Sauce about to do. The Lovers, which represents a choice, wish fulfillment. So this is what I mean about her having clouded judgment. It's like her intuition was telling her that her choice was going to be a wish fulfillment, that this was going to work out good for her. But the energy that I'm getting in actuality, when the dust settles, when everything clears and the numbers are in, this is going to be a heavy, heavy burden. Looking for new ways and actions on how she can become the Queen of Pentacles. The Page of Wands has hit the table. Yeah, Two of Swords. This is like she's going to be cut off from the Wheel of Fortune. She's going to lose a lot of opportunities after, the numbers come in from this project. The reviews come back. This is not going to fare well for her. Said, is the anime song she was going on and on about any good? At least absolutely not, Miss LaDon. That was actually one of the worst songs on the album. I don't even know how to explain it. It was like it's her and it's someone rapping in Japanese. Pardon me, because I don't remember the gentleman's name, but it didn't congeal properly. It's like he had problems with, being able to ride the beat, and it just did not mesh well. It did not mesh well. Ten of Swords, which represents the ultimate betrayal. Explain this ultimate betrayal, because it's attached to a hangman. Explain this ultimate betrayal. Okay, so the sun coming out under the Two of Wands, which means there's something that's going to be illuminated that is going to force a choice to be made. Here the hangman is right now. So what she thought intuitively was going to be a good situation turned into a hangman. Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Oh my God, what could you have possibly consumed to think that this was good? It's no way she listened to this and just knew that this was that. This says RN set her up. They knew that album was trash and they didn't care. They didn't give a fuck. Once again, y'all, they're just management. They don't have her signed as an actual artist to the label. So all they do is negotiate deals for her. They don't have anything to do with the artist development and the creative licensing and things of that nature. That's more so on her, which works well if you're an actual business-minded artist, but I don't think she really has a grasp of that. Ten of Pentacles and the Lovers. So what is this choice that leads to this Ten of Pentacles? Y'all, I can't make this up. Y'all see what's showing at the bottom of the deck? You got the heartbreak and the Seven of Cups. This is like, after everything is all said and done, this is going to be heartbreaking for her because it's not going to go over the way that she expected it to. And it's going to force her or the people that she's working with to have to consider their options. Is that a horse emoji? Y'all are hilarious. Not so slow. Yep. It went from Ten of Pentacles to Knight of Pentacles. So she invested a lot in this project, y'all. A lot of what you see in here is out of her own pocket. And it's to no avail because there's a very slow, if any, financial return. So unless she's really good with how she does her taxes, she's about to be ass out because it's like this project and a lot of what she invested in is going to have to be a write-off. Yeah, it says she bit off more than she can chew. She will quickly realize that she didn't she didn't know as much as about the industry. Okay. Um, Says she did all that hyping of that song only for it to be hot garbage. Miss LaDon, do you follow me on Station Head? Because when I get off of here, I'm going to just finish all of this out on Station Head. Yeah, Iman, this is what this is looking like, going broke. Like 10 of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles. You know, she started off with a nice amount of money. She invested in herself. And it's like, this is a very, you know, slow to none, bare minimum return on her investment. Thank you for sharing that, Megan. That's my station here, because I'm about to get off of here on YouTube, and we're gonna continue the whole thing on Station Head, because on Station Head I could speak more freely without, you know, getting in trouble for tapping into certain adult matters. And then for certain content, I can let y'all hear some of what I'm talking about, and then do energetic pulls with the cards pertaining to what we hear. So I don't get why it was a self-titled album. The songs don't reflect that. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So that means more drinking, child. I hope not, because it didn't help the first go round. No, I don't. I have to download the app. Is your name the same on there? My name on there is Miss Angel the Oracle. It's MZ for Miss. It should be in the chat. Somebody just put it in the chat. Thank you. Megan just put it in the chat right here. Yeah, I want to be able to get into some things over here on Station Head. I want to invite all of y'all to Station Head, and then we're going to come over here and have some grown folks conversation that I can't have on YouTube. You said the beats are nice. Lil Jew surprised me. Lil Jew does decent, but I mean, this is a mixtape album at best. This is not a industry standard album. Okay, I'm gonna give everybody about like 5 minutes to come on in over here on Station Head, and we're gonna close this out on YouTube, because I want to have some adult conversations. It's some things I definitely cannot say on YouTube that I want to be able to get off into. Meg should have let Cupcake write for her, because that was horrible. That actually is not a bad idea, because Cupcake is a great artist. Would you say hell Scarlett could have wrote for her? At this point, Yogi and Boo Boo could have wrote for her, because this just did not go over well. She's got to get way better at structuring her songs, not just, you know, structuring the bars, but if you can't write a good hook, the song is going to fall apart anyway. You have to be able to write a hook, and that hook has to be able to catch people's attention, because most people, your verses, they're going to say the verse is wrong and remix them and say whatever they want to say, but they're going to remember the hook every time. You said it do give me mixtape. At this point, I want Scarlett to go up. I mean, why not? Said, I know you saw that they said Jonathan had some issues with her security. Yeah, they said Jonathan got into a scuffle with her security. And the crazy thing is, they said she let the security, not the security, she let Jonathan come back in after the scuffle. If I was her security, I would quit. So I hope that don't end up in court too, where they sue her for endangering them. Because if he's your you know, the security is your employee, and you let somebody put hands on them, and then they get to come back in, now you're endangering your employee. Said she should have asked Kodak. She should have asked somebody. She should have called Tyrone or something, because this was not it. Hold on, I'm going to show you a fly on the wall. Can you see this? Miss Angel the Oracle. Hold on. It's also in the chat. Okay, yep. Look right up under you. She has it spelled right here in the chat. Said Asian be into stuff, but that's my girl. People be hating her. Asian be stirring up a lot of the stuff to make people hate her. So if I was her, I wouldn't have came to Megan event. I wouldn't care how many tickets she gave, because the way Megan did her, when she dropped her off that song and then treated her like, you know, the Regina George would, like that you can't sit with us type energy, I would have been straight on her. Because she really had her back and she was holding her down when everybody had cut her off. And she played Asian to the left real bad. Why, thank you, Anthony Doyle. God loves you too. Alrighty, so everybody, I'm logging off of YouTube, and meet me over on Station Head if you're not over there already, because it's time for us to get into some things. See y'all later. Bye-bye.